When it comes to behaviour change, many of us assume that if we can just give the person enough incentive, give them enough good reasons why to change, then they'll change and keep doing it forever. But the research and evidence will tell us otherwise. If we want to keep someone changing their behaviour and keep it changed in the long term, we need a different approach. And that's what we're discussing today. Welcome back to Clinical Communication. My name is Ben. I'm a specialist physio and clinical communication skills facilitator here in the UK. And today we're discussing extrinsic and intrinsic motivation, what they mean and how you can utilize them to change the behavior, not just in the short term, but in the long term with the person in front of you. We'll be covering both types today, and hopefully you'll find at the end of this that we have a better idea about how we can motivate the people we see lead to long-term change. If you find this useful, please do go and share it with others, and look forward to hearing any comments or feedback you have. But let's dive in. Extrinsic motivation is where we're trying to motivate someone to change with some things that are outside of them, not internal inside their body, but external to them. So often this is money. This could be cheerleading and really good encouragement and being with them every step of the way. It could be threats and trying to scare them. Whatever it is, it's not them internally. It's coming from outside. And in the short term, external or extrinsic motivation can be effective. It can get someone going if need be. It might just need a bit of a push if someone's not quite getting there themselves. And it can be anything. And it doesn't have to be real. It can just be a perceived pressure or perceived external benefit. But these things are not effective in the long term. Think about it. We know from various studies, if you're getting people to change with money, the moment the money stops, they revert back to what they were doing before. If you're giving them a threat, for as long as they've got the threat, they'll keep doing it. But the moment the threat or the scarcity goes away, they go back to what they were doing before. Okay, it's fine in the short term, but it is not going to lead to long-term change. And actually, realistically, in healthcare, we generally can't do those things. We can't give them money. We shouldn't be scaring them into change. It's often ineffective. And we can't be with our patient every minute of every day. It's not going to work. They need a life, and we need to see many other people. So we need to focus on the intrinsic, the internal things that we can help influence that can lead to long-term change. So as I say, intrinsic motivation is the internal factors inside the person, primarily psychological, that can drive the long-term change. But how can we harness that? What can we do to drive that? Some people discuss it or think of it like self-efficacy. It's very similar. But what are these internal factors that can drive that change? There's three we're going to discuss today. I'm going to put a reference in the description for this podcast so you can have a read of afterwards where this comes from. But let's go through the three factors. The first way you can enhance internal or intrinsic motivation is through giving the person in front of you a feeling of achievement. Okay, feeling that they've achieved something, they're moving forwards, they're making progress. Okay, the more we feel that we're benefiting, we're moving forwards towards something, the more likely they're going to keep doing the behavior or the thing that is driving that. So how can we, with the person in front of us, show them that they're making progress, show them that they're making achievements, they're getting somewhere? Well, the first is to tell them, if you can demonstrate to them that they are making progress from what they've told you or what you're seeing, then point it out, right? Show them how they're making progress. We're more likely to keep doing something if we've been shown that we're already on the journey. Okay, we're already making progress. The next, as you've probably heard many times before, is to use achievable goals. Okay, with a little bit of a effort they have to put in, nothing too easy that they can do within 5 seconds. It needs to be a little bit of effort and work they have to put in to get there, so they get that sense of achievement, right? But realistically achievable goals that they could hopefully achieve between when they see you at the beginning and later on. Again, if they achieve it, can help bring that motivation up. And the final part of showing them that they're making progress is by discussing or giving or however it is, these tools for change. What can you show them? What can you suggest to them or give them that they can utilize and use to help them make that progress to what they're trying to achieve? Okay. And again, you need to make it clear that it's going to help. You may need to demonstrate how it's going to help or explain, but using those three things of the achievable goals, the tools that they can use, the showing that they're already making progress, can help give that feeling of accomplishment, drive that internal or intrinsic motivation. The next way of driving intrinsic or internal motivation is with connectedness, connections, relationships. Can you, with your suggestion or the behavior change that you're going to make, can this person perhaps join a group? That's often one we think of. Are there a team they could join? Is it form a community? Okay. If you get into a group or a community of people similar to you who are moving in that trying to move in that same direction as you, it will help build that internal motivation more. Of course, we know that there are some people that aren't group people. They don't like being parts of large groups. They prefer to be on their own. That's fine. So, are there little online forums they can join, online communities where maybe they can connect that way if they don't like being in person with people? However, it is not just the connection they build with you, but the connection they can form with others as well, again, will help drive that intrinsic motivation. And the final part for driving intrinsic motivation is autonomy. Can you use those open questions we discussed before? Things like, what next steps would you like to take? How would you like to go about exercising more, losing weight? What kind of diet suits you? Whatever it is, okay? Whatever the changes you're trying to initiate and maintain in the long term, we help them feel that they've come up with them themselves, that autonomous feeling. Again, they're more likely to keep doing it in the long term. And also, as I said in the past, giving them a little choice, not a massive choice, but a choice of a few options which they can pick from. And again, they give them a greater feeling of autonomy and they've chosen it and therefore will drive that intrinsic motivation further. So, to conclude, the feelings of achievement, connections, and autonomy will help increase that intrinsic motivation further, help maintain that behavior change in the long term. If you found this useful, as I said earlier, please do go and share it with others. Please do let me know what would make this better, what guests to get, what topics to cover. Thank you for listening or watching, and I will speak to you next time.